Welcome back, friends. Video number 3. And today's myth, you must have celebrity friends. Oh my gosh. Okay. So I'll be honest. I didn't think so much about the celebrity part, but I really did think, oh my gosh, if I'm going to do this, I need to know a lot of people with homes in order to keep me busy, right? And I need to know people with homes who travel. No, you don't. Trust me. If you missed video number 1, which was all about other people house sitting, not you, make sure you watch that because that will seal in that you are built for house sitting. This is something you can do, you should do, and you should do starting now. And video number 2 was all about there's no special skills needed, right? You don't need to go out and get a certificate, be certified, get a degree in it. No, you just need 2 things. Number 1, common sense. And number 2, a phone. This baby right here is, we'll say 75%. 75% of it right there. Because this is your lifeline for extra support for the things you don't know, for the questions that you have. This is your lifeline for booking house sits. This is your lifeline for staying connected to a community as you travel, because you might be traveling, you might want to travel to places you haven't been before, right? And so those first few days, few weeks even, can be jarring until you find your groove, until you find your people. And so the beauty of, and I know you know it's coming, the beauty of Trusted House Sitters and House Sitter Academy is that the community is built in. I love meeting up in real life, IRL, with people I hang out with online that I've met through Instagram, through our socials, that I've met in the Trusted House Sitters community, and also the House Sitter Academy community. There is nothing more fun than actually getting a chance to meet up with someone who is house sitting in the same area that you are. And this actually just happened, true story. I was in Arizona, in Tucson, and I had a chance to meet up with a fellow house sitter. And she'd already been there, her husband had been there for a couple of weeks already. So who else to ask? Where should we go for coffee? Where's the best juice bar? Where do I go for yoga? She's already been there. She scoped it out. She knew exactly where to send me. And that was great, right? I didn't have to spend extra time wandering around, even though I probably would have anyway. But I didn't have to spend the extra time doing that because someone else was already there and laid the groundwork for me. That is the beauty of having a community. You never truly feel alone, no matter where you are. And trust me, there are a lot of house sitters out there. There are a lot of digital nomads. There are a lot of expats. And so finding your community is going to be key. But back to the myth that you have to have celebrity friends. The answer is no, obviously. It's not about having celebrity friends or friends who are rich and famous, who globe-trot around the world. 90% of our house sits are regular people like you and me, who some travel for work, some might be in the Army, military, Navy, some are newly retired and they just want to travel. They want to go see their grandkids in the next state over or the next country over. And the ones where we pet sit, for whatever reason, they can't bring their pet with them. Or maybe it's not that kind of trip and they don't want to bring their pet with them. That's where we come in. For others, they just don't want their home sitting very long without someone moving around and keeping things on, especially if you're traveling to states or countries where it gets cold. It can be very beneficial to have someone turning the heat on every now and then, running the water, right? There is nothing worse than coming home and finding your pipes have burst because of freezing temperatures, or that you're out of oil, right? If you live in, let's say, upstate New York, which was my experience, and you're out of oil for the furnace. and now you have to spend a night freezing because there's no heat. So many reasons to hire a house sitter. And you really are filling a gap. You're filling a need by, I want to say, jumping into it. You're not just, you're sort of volunteering for it, but you are giving and they are giving something back. It really is an even exchange. And if at any point it doesn't feel that way, that's where communication comes in. And I actually have a whole training on creating boundaries with homeowners and pet owners inside this course. So I highly recommend that if you are still tiptoeing around the idea of house sitting, just do it. Step one, sign up for the masterclass. In that 60-minute masterclass, I actually go through how to get started on the Trusted House Sitters app. I walk you through setting up your profile, to searching for house sits, how to properly use the filters, how to never miss a new house sit being uploaded onto the platform, because the sooner you can apply, the more likely you are to get that house sit. So that is key. I also take you through how to send in your application, right? With all the right wording, the right context to it. I also help you with templates, craft your own personal message, your personal letter to the homeowner or pet owner as to why you are the best fit. And lastly, what to do once they say yes, and you said yes, and you're ready to go. What do you do at that point? And inside the community, there's so much more. You're going to find like-minded people who are also house sitting, who are digital nomads, who are traveling, who are taking a sabbatical, who are taking the year off to just find themselves, perhaps, or just take a break. But there's so many of us in there, and the string that ties us all together is the love of travel. We are travel obsessed, and we have all found that magic, that key to traveling well, to traveling smart, to traveling and fully being able to immerse ourselves in a culture, right? Especially if we're traveling overseas, international. There is so much to see in this world and so many different ways to see it. So, what if house sitting was just another thing you did? It gave you another option. I'm not saying you have to house sit forever. I'm not even saying you have to house sit every single time you travel. But wouldn't it be great to have that option? And I'll tell you about a friend of mine. Her and her husband have a beautiful home in Arizona. And when they travel, which is quite frequently, they will house sit. And when they travel and house sit, someone is house sitting for them. What an amazing opportunity. So they have two amazing dogs. I love them, Nacho and Blue. And while they are off house sitting, gallivanting across the states, across the world, they have amazing house sitters watching Nacho and Blue so that they can travel safely. They can travel with peace of mind, knowing that their animals are cared for. While they're traveling, they are house sitting. So they're taking care of someone else's pets or someone else's home. That is money they're not spending that they on accommodations, but they now get to spend on experiences. How amazing is that? I have another friend who is currently in Australia right now for a whole month house sitting, no pets. She gets to live in Australia, and I think it might be the Gold Coast, but in a very nice home for the next month. Accommodations paid for, right? She doesn't have to pay. Meanwhile, she gets to work her business from a new time zone, literally. She gets to experience Australia and get in there and live like a local to see if that's someplace she actually would like to spend more time. Final story, my own personal story. I have wanted to travel for so long, and I love taking road trips. So, what better way to fully see the United States than to road trip, right? And yes, I could have road tripped and stayed in various Airbnbs and hotels, but house sitting has allowed me to save that money that would be toward apartments, hotels, Airbnbs, and put that toward experiences. My mom and I had the amazing opportunity to check out Yosemite. We went to the Sequoias. Oh my gosh, Kings Canyon. That was phenomenal. We've been through Grand Canyon. We actually are checking off all the national parks on our list. But we've had the opportunity to see some really beautiful places. And these have been places we just thought about. We hoped to see one day, but it was a matter of, okay, we need to take time off from work. We need to have money saved up for the trip, money saved up to take care of expenses while we're on the trip, and then be prepared to come back, be exhausted, but then get back to work. All of those types of stresses are now relieved. They no longer exist. So again, house sit, don't house sit, but chances are, if you're here, if you're watching this video right now, you are at some sort of level of burnout. You are at some sort of level of like, I am done. I'm maxed out. And versus continuing to say, I need a vacation. I need a vacation. Versus saying that every single day for the rest of your life, which I thought I was going to. Do something different. This is an opportunity for you to get out of your norm, to change your day to day, to change your zip code, your time zone, your area code, if you want, and do something different. House sitting is that simple. And very first day we did this video, I asked you, what if it could be that easy? What if it could be that simple? And it is. So step number one, finish this video. I would love for you to leave some comments below and share this with someone else you know would appreciate it and who is looking for the solution that I'm offering. Number two, check out Trusted House Sitters. There's going to be a link below as well for you to check it out. And if you do feel called to sign up and get started, or even just dabble in it to get started, you'll get 25% off your first year, your first, your first year's membership, 25% off. That's a good chunk of money. And trust me, this is worth every single dollar. And again, it's not that expensive. Number three, make sure you sign up for the House Sitters Masterclass. There'll also be a link below. There, I will walk you through how to properly use Trusted House Sitters as a house sitter and how to make sure you land the house sits that you want and gain 5 stars every single time. Lastly, thank you for watching all 3 of these videos. I hope you got as much value out of it as I intended you to get, and I hope you had as much fun watching them as I had making them. There is more to come, my friend. I am so excited that you're here. Thank you for sticking with me for these 3 amazing videos and learning about house sitting. And if you have any questions, you know where to reach me. You can find me on Instagram, Wander Wealth Creators, or you could email me at hello@bradydaniels.com. All of that is below. I cannot wait to talk with you more. Let's get house sitting. Andiamo!